Now, your father, I actually watched, and I was doing other things. I watched the last interview he did, which he really opened up a lot about. And just like when he would say things that remind me of what's going on in the world right now. I mean, it's just like 2007, and this is still, it sounds like he's talking yesterday.
I know.
So, and he talks about the planet is fine, the people are effed. The planet will be here, will go away, the planet will heal. Nobody wants to rock the boat, though. Nobody wants to change anything. We're on a nice downward glide. We squandered a great gift, and all those things are like, oh my gosh, it's true. And Kurt Vonnegut said similar things like, the Earth is doing just fine, but we're getting rid of ourselves pretty well, something like that. And I thought, what do you think your father would have to say about what's going on right now? I mean, with what I would call a very unenlightened era of our history here in this country, and particularly in even the world at this time, particularly the United States, seems to be extraordinarily unenlightened as far as the political world is concerned. But I find conversations like this and music and cultural things, I'm working cultural and economic transition, because that's where I see the hope. And having conversations like this with people on all levels, celebrities, regular people, homeless people on the street, I don't care. Everyone has a soul. That's what I see the hope is. How do you think your father would look at all this that's going on right now?
Well, he made a decision, a personal and creative decision, to become the person who disengaged from the species. He decided to walk away from it all. When he did The Planet is Fine, that was in 1992 on his Jammin' in New York show. And it was very controversial because, he wasn't saying don't try to save the planet, but he was saying the only reason you're trying to save the planet is because you're trying to save your life, your convenient life. Like, let's just get real about it.
Ego. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're trying to save it so that you're not inconvenienced anymore. And if you really want to save the planet, then we would stop driving cars.
Yes.
And we would stop eating beef. I mean, like those two things would probably save the planet right now. We would probably be okay if we could do those two things.
That's right.
But we're really not interested in that. So, and now with all of our devices, it's just so anyway. So, he warned us about all of this. He saw it all coming. It's all about greed, and greed is all about ego. So it's all about, I want to make sure I have enough for me and my family. And we really haven't gotten past that. And it's not our fault necessarily. We're hardwired for it. We're hardwired to live in a scarcity mentality because we came up as hominids and as animals, and that's how they lived. And, our brains were evolved for something very, very different than what we're living. So it makes all sense. He said a line which really has given me comfort and pause the last few years, but it really, really works. He used to say, when you're born, you get a ticket to the freak show.
Yeah.
When you're born in America, you get a front row seat. And that's all I've been thinking about for the last 2.5 years is this is the freak show on steroids. How much more do we need of this for us to wake up, to really look each other in the eye and say, you're a human and I'm a human, and we need to stop dividing ourselves into these teams and find out what we really, how we really connect. And the only way we're going to do that is by stop listening to the news, stop watching television, and getting off of social media and having conversations with each other again. And I don't know if that will happen or not. So But you know, it and every day it gets freakier. I mean, I tweeted, I
I
don't know
know.
if you saw my tweet yesterday, but it was like, we didn't even get 24 hours after the midterm elections to just go, okay, there's a little more check and balance in government now. That's all I'm looking for. I mean, I can't control the freaks, all of them, but as long as there's some grown-ups somewhere and we've got some pushback, that's fine. 24 hours hadn't gone by already when, people are talking constitutional crisis. It's like, so the
Yeah.
pace of it is just so exhausting. And I know, and some people say it's their plan. Here's what I know. Malignant narcissism is a very difficult thing to be around. People who have that personality, they take up every molecule of oxygen in every single room. When they're the president of the United States and they have that personality disorder, they are taking up so much oxygen in our lives and in the room, and forget the media. I mean, it's insane that it takes every bit of concentration and personal will to find enough time away from it to get some real perspective, to find your center, to do the work we're here to do as humans, reach out to those in need, take care of our own, work hard, share the spoils. I mean, it's all we can do.
All of
And
the above. All
yeah,
of the above. Every bit of it is important. And
it, it is. Yeah,
just like I was saying, we're connecting, and having these kinds of conversations. We are creating that transition. It might not seem like it's very much, but if we do this every day and we do this as much as possible, whether it gets recorded and shared with others or not, whether it's just, on the street,
yep,
in your home, at a party or a club or a restaurant, do it everywhere. And it's dawned on me that that's what we have to do. And there's also economic stuff, which I'm aware of, that I can be a part of, in helping to educate people about a different way to think about our system. Because we have to even critique capitalism. People don't like
absolutely.
it. I'm not apologizing for it. We need to. It's a problem. And there's reasons why. So I'd love to continue this conversation again. Let's do it sometime, maybe in person. And
That'd be great. I would love
that'd be
that.
fantastic. Kelly, thank you so much.